What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Branded going up against a pile deck on the right. We see a Horus, Lightsworn, Thunder Dragon deck. I might be forgetting something else as well. We're going to start off with, and the Bestials here. We're going to starting off with the normal summon of a Seifert, and we're going to be activating its effects, sending the Legionnaire from the hand, probably searching for a copy of Lubellion here. A nice little bridge. We're going to then activate the Lubellion to search for a copy of a Bestial, most likely being the Magnemite that we are going to be seeing right here. You know, the Seifert having like a nice little bridge they can use in the graveyard as well to add back that Lubellion is pretty nice. We're going to see a copy of Goldsark activating, lots of graveyard effects that can activate, and we're going to be banishing that copy of the Dark, I think, or I believe that's Dark. I'm not 100% certain on my Thunder Dragon still. That could also be Roar. It's Roar there, okay. And that's going to be activating its effect, summoning out the Dark from the deck. And if we get in on Colossus, this used to be a deck a little bit back in the day, not including the not including the Bestial cards, but it did include the Dragon cards still. So we're going to be seeing the Bestials being a new accomplishment, or a new addition to the deck. We're going to see it summoning out the Magnemite by banishing the copy of Legionnaire. Then we're going to be using the Lubellion to summon out the copy of itself by attributing off that copy of the Magnemite. And we'll activate the effect of the Lubellion, putting the Regain onto the field. We're going to link both of those away into the copy of IP. Then IP is going to, we're going to see the effect of the Dark going to activate its effects in the graveyard because it was linked away. To search for a copy of Hawk. Hawk can actually bring back out the copy, which is going to also let us have our access to our Thunder Dragon Colossus on the field here. And we also have Regained as well, which is pretty nice. If we have another Bestial in the hand, or we can always banish that copy of the Seifert. We're going to be banishing, or we're going to activate the effect of Hawk using the itself to then, or discarding itself, activating in the hand, summoning out the copy of Roar, and then we're going to activate the effect of banishing 2 for a Chaos Creator here, which is very nice, and we actually get to activate the effect of Regain to put back, and let us draw a card. But trying to put back that Legionnaire unfortunately cannot, so having to put back the Hawk instead. And then we're going to get overlaying for a copy of the Zombie Vampire, which is going to be able to activate its effects, detaching to then mill. We see a Horus, Solar, and then we see a Felice as well. So we can summon out the Horus here, then activate the effect of Felice, or just summon out the Felice there off the Horus. We then activate the Chaos Space, which is a very nice draw to put back the copy of Legionnaire to the deck, and then drawing an additional card. There's no really reason to have him steady in the graveyard, right? We do have an Appaloosa set up if we wanted to, but we could have had a bigger Appaloosa or the copy of SP. And, they did see, I believe, a branded card from the opponent in the graveyard there. We have a Lubellion Spain, at least when they're on Bestial cards. So there we see, we do see a Ash and also a copy of Fusion Deployment. I guess I'm kind of confused with the Ash myself, but being confused at Fusion Deployment is not really normal, but Ash in a branded deck is, unless you're playing Crossout, it's kind of weird that we're seeing the hand traps. We're going to be going for a copy of Colossus here, and then we get to activate the effect, or we have to resolve the effect here of the Magnemite during the end phase, searching for a copy of a Druid's Worm here. So we see maybe a 3-mat Appaloosa going to be made using that IP, the Felice, and then the the Zombie Vampire. They might have gone a world where you actually go for an SP instead, being able to banish maybe the normal summon that they have on the field. Especially if they had an Albaz that they can just normal summon, can threaten the Colossus extremely. But we see a normal summon of an Albaz here. Activating the effect, discarding the copy of a Luber. They're in a chain. Why? On the Lubellion here, that's interesting to me. I feel like we just, if you're worried about branded in red, you do, I don't know what we're trying to accomplish here. We're going to be seeing the Albaz resolve, getting rid of the Colossus, going for a Mirror Jade, and now we're at the point where we have to go into that we have to go into SP, but SP is going to get banished by the Mirror Jade anyways. Like, yeah. Maybe trying to get that draw off the regained to see what we can get. The branded player is in a good stance here. Like, yeah, because if we just activate the effect of Mirror Jade, they chain SIP, go into something, the Mirror Jade is going to banish it there. I'm going to activate Branded Fusion here. They're going to attempt to chain IP. We're going to chain Mirror Jade here. That's the problem. Like, you cannot IP with Mirror Jade onto the field because it just gets banished anyways. And there's nothing we can really do to stop it either. We're going to send the Titaniclad, and then we're going to be banishing the copy of IP. And it does not resolve. And so now they're just sitting on essentially nothing. They do have a Jerusalem and like a bodies on the field, but there's not much that they can do. Regain will be able to summon back with the copy of Magnemite if they need to, or obviously if that Lubellion, or if that copy of Jerusalem gets into the graveyard, we will be able to bring it back out. So we're going to be seeing the Regained activate on the Albion, which can activate its effects, and we're going to chain Regain, summon out the copy of Magnemite, which can then activate as well to search. And we are walling up here, which is quite efficient, but if we can just gimmick Puppet, we'll be able to take the game anyways. And we do see an Alba Lentis in their extra deck. I mean, when you're playing against Tempai, it's a really good card. I think that card's going to be used a little bit more now, especially as like a tech option. We're going to be seeing the Albaz and the Quertus, or the Albaz and the Aluber for Quertus there, which can kind of like force everything to 0, which is kind of important. Like, you know, when you have to beat over a bunch of stuff, being able to force everything to 0 is pretty nice. We did send the Titaniclad to the graveyard, so we will be able to actually either summon out the copy of Quem during the end phase, and also dump like a copy of Cartesia, which can then add itself back if we had to go for a branded and red line, or we can just leave it in the graveyard as well. But we're going to be treating off that copy of Lubellion here. We're going to be treating off the Albion for the Lubellion, and we have the Cartesia in the hand already to special summon itself out. Having that going to be able to also search for the Lost is insanely huge. This hand's like kind of like free. What the heck? I'm seeing this hand. This hand was Branded Fusion, Albaz, Aluber, Cartesia. You don't really know what the other card is. But that's crazy. And then we're going to be searching for a Spriggan's Kit. And then we're going to be dumping the Adlib off of the Garanganol here. This is actually going to let us also, we also see, so Spriggan's Kit can be able to special itself out, which is pretty nice. Can be able to search for that copy of Branded and Red, essentially. Getting that Guardian Chimera access. We're going to put one back to the bottom of the deck here. Being a McCourier and a opening. So they had opening as well. That's nice. You see the Branded in red here. There might have been a world where we actually activate the Quertus first to make everything 0 and then summon out the kit. They're going to go battle phase, attack into it. Then attack and attack. Most likely leaving. Oh, that's what they did do. Okay. So they did do Quertus first. And then they summoned out the kit. But now we're going to be seeing the effect of the Jerusalem going to be activating. We do have the McCourier in the hand. But they're going to let that go. I mean, they're summoning Quem during the end phase anyways. It makes 0 difference for them to negate that. We do go Branded in red here with the Ad Libitum. We're going to add back, and then we could Fusion Summon using the itself and the kit to go for maybe a copy of Masquerade. And we do see the Masquerade here, so I'm probably not playing the Sanctifier. Ad Libitum's going to summon out the copy of Mirror Jade, and we're just going to attack. Oh, we can't attack directly with that copy of the Masquerade, but we can attack directly with that copy of Mirror Jade, though. And then end phase, we're going to be seeing the Titaniclad, adding the Quem to hand, and setting the copy of Retribution. I feel like we should have definitely summoned itself out there instead of adding it to the hand. But like Retribution's like super crazy still. Yeah, if we added the Quem, we summoned Quem to the field, Quem can activate its effects, dumping like, we already have the Albaz in the graveyard, but I probably don't play 2 branded in reds either. Maybe dump it. Yeah, there's no real line there, but we did take a bunch of damage. Whenever they activate stuff, they will be hitting it with Masquerade. But yeah, we also have the copy of like Retribution being in the Retribution being able to put back Titaniclad in the Aluber and the Albion, and also having the surprised copy of Mercurier in the hand is kind of crazy. And they're asking what the effects do. You know, if Mirror Jade leaves the field, it's not going to be destroyed everything. We do see the QCR being slapped down there. But they're just going to go next. They realize that they are going to lose the game, you know. Quertus being able to turn everything down to 0, and then if they start activating effects, taking damage is just not going to be enough. Brand is such a deck that like you can just play for so long and like still discover new lines, or still just find like different ways of like seeing when you play against random stuff like this. Like, granted, it's not really random, but like it's not necessarily meta. So being able to like just adapt and sometimes summon it out. Like, I don't know why we added the Quem to the hand. Maybe we didn't feel like there was any good reborns off the Quem, and it just makes it a better normal summon. Or if it gets lost during next turn, like, you know, if we end up getting like hit with a copy of like Regeki or some random stuff like that, then having the normal summon of a Quem, because I assume they don't have any other good normals in the hand, definitely helps you out significantly. But at that point, it's just like, well, we would be able to add back branded in red with our copy of, or even adding back a branded fusion with our copy of Retribution that we already had set. Like, you kind of debate, well, if they didn't set branded Retribution, they're probably, well, if they set branded Retribution, they're probably not on 2 branded in reds, or else Quem would have been special summon out, dumping the Retribution so they had it anyways. But we'll be diving into game 3. I feel like if they would have had a second Retribution or second copy of branded red, they would have set it, because we would have probably gone for that copy of Chimera. But at the same time, it's like the Bestials really hurt them a lot. But we're going to be seeing Branded being forced to go first here, starting off with a Branded opening, discarding a copy of Branded Fusion, searching for a High Spirits. Or searching for, yeah, summon out the Aluber here. Aluber's going to be searching for High Spirits, is what I'm trying to say there. So maybe already having a copy of Branded Fusion in the hand. Yeah, we do see a second copy of Branded Fusion. We're going to activate Branded in High Spirits, sending the Albaz. And this card's always probably the most complicated Branded card that we have. So it's reveal 1 monster from your hand, and the send 1 level 8 monster is going to be the copy of Titaniclad, which can summon out the Quem during the end phase here. And then we can send the Albaz to be able to search for the Cartesia here, which is very crazy, because then Cartesia can actually summon herself out, because now the Albaz is in the graveyard. It also sets up Branded in red if we have it as well. This being like an overall nice card. Like, it is 8-1, but you do get to search for really whatever. So we're going to see a special summon out of the Cartesia. So now we can just dodge Imperm whenever we want to, and we activate the Branded Fusion right away and be able to start sending, which is crazy. Sending Lubellion and Albaz here. going for a copy of the Albion. Albion can activate its effects using the Albaz as well as the Aluber if we want to. We don't really want to discard a card, though. And we're going to chain Cartesia to go for that Grang, and also choosing not to go for the branded Lost lineup. Just wanting to make sure that we have that additional. We could have done it on the Albion there. I feel like we should have done it on the Albion, personally. Like, we should have waited for Lubellion because Lubellion can use itself. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, though. Because regardless, you're still getting the Albion. You're still getting a Luber on the field, the Lubellion being used, and Adlib in the graveyard. But like now you just don't have essentially your any like targets for Lost, which is fine because we do have the Titaniclad summon with the copy of the Quem here, which we are setting branded in red as well. And then Titaniclad will be able to activate to summon out that copy of Quem. Which can then dump most likely Retribution, I feel like. Or a Cartesia. Cartesia we would add back. We might have taken out Retribution from our deck, thinking that we wouldn't be going first. And just passing on this. So we do have the branded in red set up. We also have the double Mirror Jade send. So we're going to be spelling out Fenrir here, which is kind of unfortunate. We might just activate Mirror Jade on this. Yeah, before we get to anything. Setting the copy of Brinbrum there, because we do have the Albaz in the graveyard as well. So we'll be able to summon out that if we do get interrupted later. We're going to be seeing the Horus activating, sending the copy of, I believe it's Felice. Searching for King Sark here. And like we do have either the pop or the pop 1 or pop 2 set up here, because we do have that copy of Cartesia in the hand. And then I'm going to Dark Ruler the field, but it's not going to matter very much. All that Dark Ruler is going to do is stop that copy of Granganol alongside the copy of Quem. We're going to activate the Dragonling here, which is a crazy card. Now that triple effects. Like, talk about a custom card. If that card would have came out like 3 years or even 2 years ago, that card would have been just busted. Now we're going to like custom sending the copy of Felice, summon itself out. Then we can just synchro away into our copy of the Minerva Synchro. You know, some of the new Lightsworn stuff. Lightsworn Bestials is pretty nice. I guess it's a Lightsworn dot deck. I don't even know what you'd call this deck. The Pile. Then we're going to search for a Punishment Dragon. Then we send the Wolf, the Wisps, to the graveyard here. Okay. And then we're going to activate to summon itself out. We also add one to the hand here. And like, do we flip up branded and red here, popping those two, knowing that they have also the King Sark in the hand? We're going to add back the Ad Libitum. And then we're going to be able to use the Adlib Lubellion, and then the Mirror Jade to go for that copy of the Guardian Chimera here. Then we're going to see Guardian Chimera, Lost Guardian Chimera, as well as the Adlib to add back or summon out that copy of Mirror Jade. and get to search for that copy of the Mercurier. So also having a follow-up Monster Negate is pretty nice. Monster Negate is pretty nice. And then we draw one. Being a Call of the Grave here and popping both those cards is very nice. We do see the Regained being activated here, and then we're activating the Kingstark. Now, if we would have been able to pop these two cards, that would have been crazy. And then we see Kingstark effects going to be activating. I don't believe we have anything other than the Imsteady in the graveyard here. We're going to be sending the copy of the Roar to the graveyard to be able to search for the Happy. I guess, yeah, it dumps Happy there, but whatever. You guys know what I mean. Then we're going to see the Happy being summoned out there by the Kingstark. And of course, inherit summons. Same thing with the Imsteady. And we're going to try to go for a zombie vampire at this point. But we could just Mirror Jade, get rid of it. And they do have one more card in the hand, so chances are they could do another Horus, but would they even? They're going to try to go Battle Phase, but we're going to go Rinbroom effect, summon out, activating the effect, send the Called By to use itself plus the Imsteady. Surely you can still fuse with them. Going for Lubellion. Lubellion can activate its effects, discarding the copy of Cartesia, which is going to add back anyways. Then we're going to put back two fusion monsters to go for the copy of the Boral, which can pop. And they just scoop it up, realize that they know they have lost. If the Horus cards activated in the graveyard, they would have gotten hit with the copy of Mercurial. There's not much they can do there even. Like, Boral Fury is just nice being able to start popping the stuff, hitting the Regained. They didn't have any Bistils in hand as well. We saw heavier Lightsworn stuff there. So we see Brain end up taking it 2-0 here. Just being able to flood the boards better than the Flooding dot deck. Kind of making them go first. We didn't see any Gimmick Puppets there. I don't think they're playing it because they are playing the copy of Ad Libitum instead. And I also didn't see a Sanctifier in the extra deck. But, if you did enjoy watching the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you see more content like this, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what decks you guys want to be seeing. And stay safe. Peace.